Hi Aries, I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot spread. These are general messages. This one might not resonate for you, but I hope to do them weekly. So if you want to come back next week, you might find something that's a little more your speed. I really am trying to get comfortable with this spread, so I'm giving away readings. If you'd like a free self-love reading with me, then my email address is in the box below. And again, these are like general love readings. They're targeted to the person who's actually watching. They're not gonna be helpful for cross-watchers. Okay, I'm gonna do a 6-card spread, and then I just shuffled a little bit before we started, so I'll probably just shuffle once or twice. I'm gonna do a 6-card spread, and then the 7th card will be your message from Spirit. And I will clarify with the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. If you haven't seen these or the Sun Moon Tarot, that's okay. I will show them to you as we go. Okay, let's get started. We'll just shuffle one more time. It can't hurt anything. It makes me feel special. All right, Aries, what do we have? Number 1 is how you feel. Number 2 is something you need to prioritize to help you feel more love for yourself, or just in general feel better, right? Number 3 is, it could be an area where we consciously or subconsciously know that we aren't doing as much as we can for ourselves, not for whatever's going on outside of us, just for us. 4 is going to be an area where you can show more of your authentic self to the world, Aries. 5 is something to let go of. 6 is something you need to acknowledge because sometimes we can't see everything. And 7 is going to be your spirit message. Okay, so let's get started. For the first position, Aries, you feel right now, apparently, like the Prince of Cups. Is there something you want to say about your feelings, Aries? The Prince of Cups is like the Knight of Cups. He's a pretty serious guy. He comes with this little lotus in his hand. It's supposed to represent purity. Aries, do you have do you have feelings? I'm so sorry. I meant to say, do you have pure feelings for somebody? Of course you have feelings. Everyone always talks about how like Pisces is the most sensitive sign in the zodiac, but we all know the truth. We all know. Okay, oh wow. Something that you need to prioritize, Aries, is this 10 of Cups. Oh. Aries, maybe you do have messages of love for somebody, but maybe you're not prioritizing that love getting to them. Are you feeling all cute and lovey-dovey? Well, let it out, Aries. It says satiety. Okay, that's not a good word. Satiety. It's like what is it? Satiating your desires. Okay? I'm sorry I could not say that word for you, Aries. And then an area where you might not be giving yourself 100%. Okay, so we see here that there's messages of love that you want to get out, and then you're not necessarily prioritizing that cuteness. But let it out. Keep it like that. Let's go with some cute. Let's. Oh my god. I can't believe that's what I look like when I talk like that in real life. Okay, and then somewhere you might be falling short and you might realize this is your Hermit Energy. Okay. The Hermit here is all about like spending time by yourself, introspection. So maybe there is this love that you want to give, Aries, but it's not coming to you easily. Maybe you have a hard time prioritizing this sensuality. And what Spirit is telling you is that the solution to that, to feel better in this situation, could be just to spend some time with yourself. Maybe it's some self-satiety. How do you say that word? Satiety. I'm going to Google it later, but self-satiation. I'm saying touch yourself, Aries. I'm sorry. Okay. And then an area where you might allow yourself to show more authenticity with others around you, or just allow more of yourself out, is this Prince of Swords energy. Prince of Swords is the fastest moving knight. He also doesn't think his way through things so very much, so maybe Spirit is telling you the best or another way to help you with this sensational Ten of Cups is to just be more impulsive, to let that out. Like if the feelings come to you, just go. I'm huge on being too much. I really am a lot. I know that. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not sad about that. I'm not even sorry for that. If I like you, you will know. I will scream. I will tell you I love you. I'm like a real big fan of showing up for things that I know people like enjoy, and then like supporting them and like cheering them on, even if it's inopportune. Yeah. So last weekend, one of my friends, she had like a softball game, but she's really tiny compared to everybody else on the softball team. And so they made her be like the person behind the person who catches, like the least job you could possibly do. You just stand behind the guy who's going to catch the ball and you pretend like you're going to catch it if he doesn't catch it, but he's definitely going to catch it. It doesn't matter. I was like, woo, go, yeah, let's do it. You're doing great. Cheering on my friend, because like that's how you should be. Aries, if you're feeling this need for satiation, this Ten of Cups, then just like let it out. You know, just let people know. People love to be loved. It's okay. Something you need to let go of. Idleness, this Eight of Cups. Aries. Usually the Eight of Cups indicates emotions that you're walking away from, but this one says indolence. Indolence. I thought it was idleness. Sorry, I'm dyslexic a lot. Indolence. So I'm going to look that word up too. But the Eight of Cups could be, maybe there's reasons that this Ten of Cups isn't coming so easy to you. Basically is what I'm trying to say here. There are feelings somewhere that maybe are hard for you right now. Hope you're okay, Aries. The overall message I'm getting from this is kind of, I mean, it's relational, but like when we have relationships with others, that's really how we show ourselves self-love, is by establishing boundaries, clearly communicating, trust and respect and things like that. And kind of what I'm seeing is that you do have someone, Aries, that you like or that you want to be with. But because the Ten of Cups is in something to prioritize, I get the feeling that that's not what you're actually doing. You're not prioritizing it. And because Spirit is asking you to acknowledge these maybe more impulsive feelings, or just definitely not going with the flow, because that Knight of Swords isn't about going with the flow. That Knight of Swords makes the flow. That Knight of Swords is like, are you guys coming? Because like, I'm gone. I'm gone, you know? So this impulsivity, but something you have to let go of here is kind of maybe hurt feelings. So maybe you did like this person, but they did something that wasn't necessarily great, okay? And you know that a lot of people, when we talk about self-love, they say, oh, no, it's you. However you feel, you need to get out there, or like, if they're not treating you well, then you just, you know, ghost, you're gone. But really, self-love is almost 99% about how we deal with other people. Okay, because I mean, most of us tend to think well of ourselves, but we're getting off track. Anyway, so it's really about how we deal with other people, right? Or how we let other people deal with us. So if somebody's hurt your feelings, I think that one of the things that you have to do, obviously, is to let go of that, because people are not perfect. They're not always going to be everything that you want them to be, or everything that you need them to be. But with self-love, and with something that the universe right now is encouraging, we need to take that introspection time, that hermit energy, and really think for ourselves what's best about us. Because it could be that somebody's hurt your feelings and you're still attracted to them, which is like a mystery of the brain or the universe, right? Because like, why would I want to be around somebody who makes me feel bad? I don't. But sometimes we can still harbor that sexual energy. So really going inside in that hermit mode and just deciding for yourself, like, is this something that resonates with me? Like, is this something that I can move past? Or is this something that I really do expect better of? So in this situation, Aries, I always encourage you to sit with yourself and figure out what's best for you. Something you need to acknowledge, oh my, is this Princess of Swords. So this is like your page, and the Princess of Swords, the page, usually brings news of clarity or movement or ideas. I think, Aries, that you are going to be acknowledging these feelings that you have, or that you should try to sit with them and acknowledge them, because the spread looks like, for you, love outside of yourself is the focus for self-love this week. How we give self-love. Are we nervous? Are we scared about it? We want to give it, but sometimes I know that people have a hard time with that. Me, not so much. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. If I like somebody, like I said, I'll tell you, but I know that some people get scared or feel like they don't deserve it. But that's not what I'm getting here from this. I don't feel like you don't deserve it. I feel like you have sad feelings, and maybe you're just trying to put those on the back burner, or maybe you're just trying to skip over them, or maybe that that's getting in the way of your satiety. Your 10 of Cups. It's getting it in the way. These emotions, okay? So maybe if you let go of them and spend some time in hermit mode, you'll understand yourself and your needs better. Because it's not necessarily about the relationship, it's whether or not the relationship is right for you, right? Okay. And then Spirit wants you to know, oh my, the Fool. A new beginning is coming for you, Aries. Aren't you lucky? And look, you don't have to worry about any of these predators or monsters. You have this staff of wisdom and healing. This looks really good. So let's see what happens with you, Aries. Okay, we're going to clarify this with our Shamanic Oracle Healing deck. Shamanic Healing Oracle deck? Shamanic Healing. Just to get some a little bit more insight, a little more clarity. Because what I'm seeing right now, Aries, is this is really about how you let love out. Because that Princess of Swords could be this promise of like clarity, right? So maybe you do like somebody, but they hurt your feelings, and they're gonna hear about it, Aries. Or maybe you have a past with this person and they hurt your feelings in the past, or maybe this person isn't even the person that hurt your feelings. Maybe you're just dealing with past hurts, and that's totally fair, honestly. But when we enter into something new, which is what the cards are kind of telling me, we want to make sure that we're not bringing that baggage with us. You can bleed on people who didn't cut you, but I mean, it's not helpful, right? I heard something recently that actually inspired me to do this. And I've always heard the saying that hurt people, but I've never heard it finished with healed people, heal people. So kind of my hope here is just that when we talk about your feelings, Aries, that's what you're really thinking about. I mean, it's indicated here in the cards like twice. What is it that you really want? So you do have these bad feelings. You should go into some hermit mode, some kind of grounding energy to deal with those feelings, and the clarity will come out on the other side. Oops, okay, well, we already have some cards. Actually, we have a bunch of cards, but the one that came out, and I'm the only one I'm going to keep, is this one. Truth, Aries. What's your truth? Are you sad? Are you afraid of being sad? That's also very fair. Sometimes we get into relationships and we have baggage from the past. It's super hard to let our guards down and to trust people again. But this truth will come. You have these feelings you want to discuss. You want to bring to somebody. The Knight brings those feelings. Sorry, some of them flipped out. I'm just going to take the one that's on the top. And this is abundance. So maybe you do have lots of love, Aries. Maybe you are abundant and magical in your own way. Special. Okay. Let's see this 10 of Cups. So I think you want to bring truth to a situation. And, you know, we talk about relationships, healthy relationships, Aries, or anybody, whoever happens to be watching this movie video I'm taking. Oh my God. healthy relationships come with like a lot of communication. They really do. And in being communicative with your partner, that shouldn't like cause problems. So let's say boyfriend A, you broke up with him, he wasn't very truthful or honest, right? And then boyfriend B comes along and he's much sweeter. And you're just like, oh my god, I really like you, boyfriend B, but I'm like super not like sure if I want to like anybody, but I don't know. You could tell them that. You could just be like, hey, boyfriend B, boyfriend A was really mean to me. Can we just take it slow? Like, that would be great. Or like, do you even have to date? Because like, dating has labels. Sorry, that was my own personal tangent, but like, you can be honest with people, because having clear, open, and trustworthy communication, or communication that you can trust, is like the foundation for healthy relationships anyway. So let's see about this satiety, this 10 of Cups. Okay. This loving energy, this 10 of Cups, is going to be transformative, Aries. I think people sometimes forget that love has so much power, right? Love can heal us, love can heal others, love can bridge gaps, it can endure all things. It can be really transformative if you're willing to let it out. It says if you could prioritize this, there could be a transformation here for you. This feminine energy. See, this is kind of what I was thinking a little bit, Aries, is that like when we're afraid, we tend to put our guard up, right? I mean, that's just human 101. When we get scared, we kind of hide. But if we're scared of something that we're interested in, that can be exciting. Sorry. And it's okay sometimes to feel scared. Open, honest communication about that. But like, being honest with your feelings is definitely part of that feminine energy. Knowing how you feel on the inside and being honest, that truth, being honest with yourself and the people around you, that's highly a feminine energy. So maybe moving more into that feminine energy, just knowing how you feel, and then knowing how you feel first off, because you got to take that hermit energy, because like, while it's really great to openly, honestly communicate with your partner, if you don't know what you're communicating, it could get really ugly, or like not ugly, but messy, right? So if you're just like, well, I really had a problem with boyfriend A, and they're like, oh, so you still like boyfriend A, and you're like, no, boyfriend A was terrible. I didn't like him at all. I'm like, yeah. So like, you're not really communicating what you want. So like, anytime you give a presentation or like an important talk, like know what you're gonna say before you say it, because things can get out of control if we're not more sure of ourselves, right? So sitting with yourself in this hermit energy and really just trying to figure out what it is that you want. What would make you emotionally fulfilled? Is it this relationship? Is this still boyfriend A we're talking about? Is this boyfriend B? This could be a completely new option. This could be girlfriend C. Like, you just have to figure out what's best for you. That's what self-love is. Honestly, it's about those habits. Because sometimes we will give away a lot of ourselves. Maybe boyfriend A did hurt us really badly. Maybe boyfriend A made us feel kind of shitty. But we stayed with boyfriend A because, I mean, we all have our own reasons for things, but maybe in staying, we let ourselves down in different ways, Maybe we made concessions that we weren't really comfortable with. Maybe we made decisions that we weren't, like, super enthusiastic about. But we do it because we have this sense of we have this sense that people won't like us if we don't do the things they want us to do. Except so the fuck what? Sorry, no offense, but like, if somebody doesn't like you, I mean, there's a billion, trillion, million people on the planet. It doesn't matter if one person doesn't like you. If boyfriend A was bad to you, boyfriend B is going to be better to you. Boyfriend C is going to be better to you. And if they're not, then we should definitely talk. We should talk. We should look into these patterns of why you pick these boyfriends who aren't good for you. But self-love is about these habits where we don't give away, or we don't do all these things that we don't want to do for people we don't want to do them for, and where we do more for ourselves. But in the same way, self-love is how we let other people treat us. Okay, so it's not the relationship, it's how you feel about the relationship, how you feel in the relationship, and whether or not the relationship is right for you. That's self-love. So let's look into this Hermit energy, because I really feel, Aries, I always feel like the Hermit energy, it's not always the best, but I feel like it's so soothing. You know, Earth energy, Virgo, the sign that the Hermit represents, Virgos are really analytical. That could be good or bad depending on who you are as a person, but and they don't tend to know exactly how they feel all the time, so it's not the best example. But I really like the Hermit energy because I feel like it really is about introspection, taking that time for yourself. Like a hermit in real life is somebody who like avoids all other people, right? I don't know if you saw that one documentary on the guy who lives in England and he like tattooed himself to look like a leopard, and then he just lives out in the wilderness by himself. And I always think about that when I think about Virgos. I mean, when I think about the hermit, right? Because like that's what a hermit does. They just hide away. When I think about Virgos, I think about stray cats. You're kitty, but don't scare it because it'll run away, right? But with the hermit, I always think like it's soulful. It is. It's soulful because you have to look inside. Like that's what the universe is calling you to do. I don't even really feel like I need very much clarification on this. Oh. Yeah, Aries, I hope you're okay, because like this says reunion of souls. And if it's this reunion that you really need to think about, it's over the Hermit energy. So I would definitely take that time, honestly. Like, if you take anything away from this message, it's that Hermit. What's best for you, Aries? Forgiveness. Okay, so we saw this kind of down there, and what you have to let go of is these negative feelings. And so maybe... Again, your situation could be anything. Oh, I'm sorry I keep using boyfriend references. We could use girlfriends. That's fine. So let's say girlfriend A wasn't very nice. And now you've moved on. You've let that go. And you're going on to girlfriend B. Okay, so forgive girlfriend A. Even if you don't talk to her. Even if, like, it's not something that comes up, like, verbally. Like, just forgive her in your brain. Because, one, it'll help you to move on. And two, it'll help you not think about her as much. Trust me on this. I've had to do some forgiving in my day, and the forgiveness allows us space in our hearts, in our understanding, in our rationale, in our compartmentalizing, that this person has the ability to change. I know a lot of us don't want to think about that. No, they're terrible. No, they'll never be a better person. No, they're just, whatever. Okay, so that's a side note. Good to know, but like aside. The truth is that anybody can change. Anybody can change. I've known people who have murdered other people, and they have changed. They've changed their lives around. They have spent years atoning for what they believe that they did, or what they actually did, right? But like in your brain, when you see that your actions have negative consequences, you can choose to do something about that, or you can choose to just say, well, I'm a shit person anyway, might as well make it worse. People can change, it's up to them. And when we hold that space in our heart that they can change, it allows us to give the situation and those feelings space, room, okay? Yes, I was hurt in the past. Yes, things happened to me that were outside of my control. Yes, that does make me scared now. But that person has the ability to change. Anything could happen in their lives, and they could be a different person. For me, it helps me so much because I get stuck on the why, right? Why did somebody do that to me? Why would they play with my feelings? Why would they act this way? Why would they treat me like that? And the truth is that almost all behavior that you receive from somebody else has more to do with them than it has to do with you. So let's say girlfriend A had like really shitty parents, and they didn't let her be who she wanted to be all the time. And so she had to walk around pretending like she was somebody else. Well, if she walks around pretending like she's somebody else with everybody, she's going to pretend like she's somebody else with you. And it wasn't that you did anything wrong. It was just that she couldn't be authentic. Does that make sense? And so we give them a space and we say, okay, well, those were the issues she was dealing with then. And that wasn't right for me. It wasn't right for her. It wasn't right for our relationship. But then we can say, okay, well, girlfriend A has the possibility to change. She can be different, which means that if you ever see her again, even if you don't, that your interactions don't have to go the same. And you kind of let go of that responsibility. It's no longer yours and it's no longer hers. It is just what it is. I really hope that helps, and I really hope that made sense, because that space really does make a huge difference in my understanding of like the relationships that I've had with people. Your most authentic self. How to let your most authentic self out, we said was this Prince of Swords. So we said it was letting out those emotions that you have, even if they're, I mean, this could still be boyfriend A or girlfriend A, okay? Like, it really could. And maybe we're partner A did something that hurt your feelings. You can tell them, I don't like that you did this. I don't like that you said this. I don't like that your actions made me feel like you were somebody that I could trust less. It's hard, but it's helpful, because maybe boyfriend A was just staring into the girl's butt at the grocery store. Partner A was just like staring, okay? Don't be upset. Like, we can't help it. Sometimes I stare. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, oops, what happened? I'm sorry. Like, that's just human nature. If that upsets you, we can sit down and talk about how, like, why and what we can do about it. But that's human nature. People will stare. But you can totally take that opportunity and be like, excuse me, partner, I don't like that. I don't look at other people when you're around. Just don't do when I'm around. But we should talk about that. But, like, if it upsets you, you should tell somebody about it. Open and honest communication, trust and respect relationships. Okay, so we have this Prince of Swords, and the card that came out to clarify that was perception. So sometimes we have this perception that some of our emotions are okay. So, like, it's okay to be happy, and it's okay in some areas and situations to be angry, but is it okay to be, like, lovey-dovey and happy? I know that sometimes we get into these arguments with people, or we get into these feels that we have, and they're heavy. Man, they suck, right? So maybe you and partner A got into a big argument. Maybe you really miss partner A. Maybe you really, in that 10 of Cups satiety way, really miss your partner. And maybe you just want to move past it. Maybe you're just like, fuck it, I'm tired of being mad. I'm tired of being upset. Just be with me again. And you can say that too. Forgiveness is, I don't know, forgiveness is an emotion. I think it's like an action. I don't know. I'll look into it. But it's really hard to forgive somebody for hurting you. It really is, especially if you told other people about it, right? Because like my little sister has like a ledger for me. Like, she keeps track of all these people that I dated in the past, and she's like, no, I don't like them. I'll never forgive them. And it's like, okay, that's great. Thanks for that. I can't do that, so I appreciate that someone has the capacity to hold on to these things for me, because for myself, I would just be like, no, it's totally fine. Just come back. I love you. Oh my God. And then I would get hurt again because my sense of self-preservation is lacking, I guess. Forgiveness is hard, though. If you want to forgive somebody, do it, Aries. Just know that you're doing it because that's what's right for you, or that's what feels right for you, not because you feel like you have to do it, okay? Okay, so this is just another indicator to me, Aries, that you do need to take some time away, sacred space. Okay, so that Hermit energy came out, and this is all moving towards your feelings. Feelings are very hard to deal with. This is all looking at like how you feel right now in this situation. All of this is connected to me. And this 8 of Cups is moving away from something. Seems really important. It could be a breakup, Aries, and I'm really sorry. I know sometimes it's really hard to move past something, especially when we have it in our minds about how things should go. And when we lose those pretend realities that we've created, that can stunt our growth. Like, it really can. It's a hit to your intuition. It's a hit to your sense of stability. But spending that time with yourself is really good. You know how, I don't even know if this is true, but I kind of believe it. They say that, like, when people break up, the first person to get into the relationship was the person who was already out of the relationship when it happened, and the loyal one is the one who stays single. I kind of feel like that's true, and only for this particular reason I'm about to say. The person who doesn't want to grow is the one that's going to find somebody new, right? Because then they themselves can just stay the same with a new person. See how that works? But the person who is going to change, who wants to change, will take the time to be single and go into that hermit energy, because that is where you really truly feel and figure out what you want. I have sisters with children, and I have sisters who don't want children. This tends to be a big thing in society and in relationships. But like, if maybe the last partner A, really wanted kids, then you guys broke up, this is a great time to really sit with yourself and think, do I want children, or do I only want children because my partner wanted children? Because of this Ten of Cups, because of this like very sensual nature, right? This has got ghost vibes all over it. Very sexy. Maybe Aries, another thing that you can look into during this time of hermitness is your sexual energy. I mean, it didn't come up in the cards, but let's face it, sexual energy is a really important part of relationships. Maybe there were things your partner asked you to do that you weren't interested in. Or maybe there were things you asked your partner to do that they weren't interested in. This hermit time, this is amazing time for like self-exploration. I mean, I didn't mean self-exploration, but if you get the chance, do whatever you want. But just, you know, just this idea that hermit energy and like self-love and like sitting with yourself, really figuring out what's good for you. So even in a sense, like if you did break up with somebody, Aries, I'm really sorry because I know that's hard, but like this is a good thing. This is a good thing. This Eight of Cups, it says divine timing. I'm real sorry, Aries. This just seems to me that like this is something that you're trying to move away from, but it's not just something that's going to happen overnight. This is really something that you do need clarity on, and that clarity usually comes in divine timing. I think that the divine thinks it's funny. You know? Do you ever think the divine thinks it has a sense of humor? I just think that about God. I used to think that God would just sit back and go, ha 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 ha. Yeah, that was you. But I enjoyed it because you did the wrong thing. Or you think this is how something's gonna work? That's not, no. Oh, what do they say? How do you make God laugh? Make your own plans. What are you gonna do? Honestly, life kind of sucks. I'm really sorry, Aries. But I really do think that not only do I think that this is good, but this spread tells me it's good. So I hope that you're okay. I haven't got an earring. It hurt when I touched it. Okay, and duality. See, it's kind of what I was just talking about with like the sexual energy, or just finding out what you like. Because in a relationship, and this is my biggest problem with relationships, my biggest problem with relationships is that you have to compromise in every relationship. Say he likes monster truck rallies, but you don't. You will go to a monster truck rally at some point. Say you really like manicure and pedicures, but he doesn't. Well, he's going to get one at some point. Okay. And so in these areas where we have to compromise, that's kind of what the duality is. It's that we have to move around these situations where people might not want what we want. It's called a conflict. They're pervasive. What can you do? Really figure out what you want. When you really know what you want, really know, you're less likely to settle for almost anything else. Maybe let's say partner A really didn't like knitting. Like they were anti-knitting. Like you would sit and you would knit and they'd be like, what are you doing? Okay. So we don't need that kind of negativity in our lives, Aries. We're going to get us a partner who loves knitting. If he happens to be a 97-year-old man, well, that just happens to be what it is. And when you braid your hair, he'll be like, oh, are you plaiting your hair? I've never dated a 97-year-old man, but a 97-year-old man did ask me once if I was plaiting my hair. He's like, how did you do it so fast? Because I read, I know what plaiting is, so I could answer his question. But My other friend was like, a plate? And I was like, no. It doesn't matter, Aries. It just really comes down to what you want, what's best for you, yourself. Don't listen to what anybody else says. It has to come from inside, because lasting change comes from inside. Especially if this is energy you want to get out of, Aries. Especially if you have like a history of being in relationships where you are not trying to be as authentic as you can. Maybe you do just go with the flow. And I'm not just saying that for Aries. I'm saying that for pretty much everybody, right? Like there are times when we just, maybe we believe we don't have a preference, or we believe that our preference will rock the boat. And so we just don't assert ourselves. But that's detrimental to any relationship that you're in. It's okay sometimes to just be like, I don't have a preference. No. Oh, what do you want for dinner? I don't care. That'll drive them crazy. But it's okay to have no preference for things. It's just unacceptable to allow somebody else to create a relationship for you, right? Okay. So let's see this Princess of Swords, which I really think is this divine timing and this clarity. But let's see what it says. Oh, look, they came out. Oh, they really came out. Slow but steady. See? Damn it. That's the thing about divine timing. This little turtle, he can't just go forward. Like, he has to go through all of his emotions. Slow and steady, though. He's going to get there. Letting go. I think this really is a breakup, Aries. But see, there's those birds again, duality. There's always good and the bad. And it's really our perception, right? It's really how we see this breakup. Or this potential breakup. Society places such a huge importance on being in a relationship that most people, when a relationship comes, that's it. That's all they think about. Yay! I'm not single. Oh my god. Like, I'm gonna have dates or whatever. I'm gonna get a house and a dog or whatever. They place so much importance on getting into a relationship. They don't really inspect the relationship. I feel this way a lot about marriage too. And like, maybe I'll make a video about how I don't think marriage is a good idea. But for right now, my point is, I lost it because the marriage thing. Sorry. Oh, my point is our perception, right? Society tells us it's so important to be in a relationship or be married that when it comes along, we're just so excited about it. We just grab it up. We just snatch it up. We're just like, yes, this has to be what it is. This has to be what's right. But it's not always, because you are an individual and you are partnering with another individual. And sometimes individuals just, it seems like such a good idea, you know? Like maybe he had like a really nice butt. And you were just like, well, I can ignore the fact that he's not a hard worker and doesn't help me around the house or pay bills or anything because that booty. But then he loses like 75 pounds and you're like, oh, so you're just annoying. If that sounds like from personal experience, Aries, you're reading too much into it, really. But, sorry. Okay. We don't think about the relationships we're getting into. Take this time, Aries. If it's a breakup, if it's a divorce, I'm really sorry. Just take this time and get to know yourself better. Know what it is that you want, what you're not willing to settle for, and then don't accept less. Let go of whatever happened in the past, because you are worthy of love, regardless of whether the last situation or the situation before that, or the situation before that, or the situation before that worked out. We'll sit down and we'll talk about why they are not working out, Aries, you and I, if you want. But we got to let go of this energy, right? Get more into this feminine energy by taking your hermit time. Because the universe is telling you good things are coming. And I've spent so much time with you. I'm so sorry, Aries. This message has gotten really long. So let's just get your clarifiers out, okay? Omens, okay? So I think that you know that what I'm talking about is coming or has come. And teaching, Aries. You're learning, okay? Try to change your perspective. Try not to look at it as a failure or a loss, and honestly try to look at it as time for you to figure out what you want. Because in 5 years from now, do you want to be in a relationship that isn't really the one that you want to be in, that you're not really happy in, where you feel like your needs aren't satiated, where I finally fucking said it. where you feel like you can't be your authentic self, where you feel like you can't be impulsive, where you feel like maybe you can't trust somebody. Do you want to be in that kind of relationship? No, of course not. So figure out what you do really want, because in 5 years, Aries, you could be in a relationship where you're really satisfied. Like emotionally. And stability, or stably. I'm having such a hard time. This is my first video this morning, so. Okay, so Aries recap just really quickly, because it's already at 40 minutes and that's way longer than I try to go. You're going through a change, and it's not a negative change. Try to change how you view the situation, okay? I really hope that helps. Sorry about the time. Have a good day.